fly ball right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking out. It is off his head, it looked like, and over the top. A home run.
It's been a while since he's seen a hole that big. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
He starts to come, and then he pulls out.
Josh Bynes has been coming all night long, but then he pulls out, and it's just hard.
2 inches short, maybe less. That's the story of my life.
Receiver coach has been blown away by Crabtree's hands and his ability to suck in these balls.
And the 3-1. Popped up. Castillo. Dropped the ball! He dropped the ball! Here comes Teixeira! And the Yankees win! Oh my goodness!
Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now. Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Yeah. Welcome to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host for today's show, Nico Each. I'm joined by the marvelous, the amazing, the beautiful Joshua Umahi. How you doing?
You know, it never gets old hearing you say that, Nico. It just never gets old. You know, I'm good. It was a, how do I describe this weekend in New York sports? Weird as hell.
Yeah.
Weird as hell.
That's how you put it?
Very weird weekend in sports, and multiple sports, too, so.
Yeah, we're actually going to be tackling more than just football today.
Yeah.
So
how about that?
That's going to be a fun one. Ross, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Screw the Rangers.
For real? I agree.
They're awful.
It can't be that bad.
Oh, it's bad, Joshua.
When you say it's bad, it's going to get even worse.
Yeah, it's gone to the point where James Dolan is starting to get involved.
Yeah.
It's keeping a close eye on the team.
It's never a good thing when James is involved.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, it might be.
No, this might be good.
Ross, just real quick before we get to the weekend recap, what are your thoughts on Gerard Gallant right now?
Dead man walking.
Okay.
The players definitely tuned him out. That's a fact. Based off of Truba's comments. The team is overhyped. They stink, and there's a reason for it. I mean, look, I was at the game on Saturday, and I left halfway through. I was done. Yes, I was done.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to get an early train back home because I can't watch a 3-0 game against the freaking Blackhawks where they couldn't even show up to play, and they couldn't even score a single goal until I leave. So you know what? They are awful, and the season is over.
Were you there for the Trouba fight?
Yes, but that was the best part.
Yeah.
The rest of the game when it was horrendous, and then after the game was even worse when Gallant's saying we played well.
Well, at least you beat the foot traffic.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Gotta look at the bright side of things, you know?
Is that the bright side?
You asked him about Gallant. Ask me about Tom Thibodeau real quick.
Yeah, how you doing? Because you guys went 1-1 this weekend, so.
I would accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would.
I would too.
You know what?
A win would be nice.
This is the first time I was actually rooting for the Knicks to flat out lose because that nasty-ass performance against the Mavericks where they're up 16 points and then all of a sudden they're down 30. And I'm rooting. It's another second half collapse, and I'm just rooting for Tom Thibodeau to get fired at this point. So I'm like, Spider's coming into town. It would be perfect if he just dropped 50 points in R.J. Barrett's face and just got the entire Leon Rose, Tibbs, Randall traded, everybody gone, and they want to because the Cavs want to miss 50 million threes. Nope, Tom Thibodeau dumbass is going to keep his job. That's great. Just great. He's inevitable. You can't kill him.
8 for 35 on 3-point.
Wide open after wide open after wide open three.
You are so competitive at the Knicks for years, and I don't know why. I don't know why you don't just give up on this team.
Wow.
I don't know why. I'm sorry. Like, how long have you been a Knicks fan? I'm just gonna
too long.
ask.
Way too long, bro.
Okay.
Way too long.
Again, I always say take the Boomer and Geo aspect. Until they do something productive, I would not watch. Wake me up then.
But Ross, I'm just too loyal, you know.
Oh, come on.
I mean, listen, when they're good, you're going to be so happy. It's going to feel so much better since you've been sticking around.
When I'm 76 years old on my deathbed.
And they lose the Eastern Conference Finals.
Come on. It's going to be a vibe, bro. Just how long do I gotta wait? Tom Thibodeau just.
It's bad with every coach.
Man,
It's MSG, man.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be at this point.
Yeah, James Dolan gotta, quit the band stuff, get off your ass, get off the couch, and just do something about both these franchises because they're both headed down a real bad path right now. Or sell them. Sell them. Just do something.
Yeah, but with Dolan, you never hear anything about him with hockey. It's always basketball.
Right. There was nothing about him with hockey until the letter came out.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So I don't really blame Dolan as ton as they used to, but I mean, listen, the Knicks could fire Tom Thibodeau tomorrow, and I still wouldn't watch them. So that's me. I've come to the solution now that it doesn't matter who the coach is. We're going to be in the same position 2 years from now where we're calling for somebody else's head to be fired. So I already accepting it. Whether it's Kenny Atkinson, Jeff Van Gundy, name any other coach, we're going to be in the same spot 2 years from now. So enjoy a new coach.
You might be right, but we got to find out. We got to get this loud, hairy toenail out of the garden, bro. I'm tired of seeing it. Just enough already. Enough.
Do you have anyone in mind who you'd want?
Johnny Bryant on the bench right now. Give me Quinn Snyder. Give me Horny Manny Mayudoka. Shout out Nigeria. Give me somebody. Somebody. Anybody would be better than Tom Thibodeau right now. Anybody. Literally anybody. I could step in and do a better job. Yeah, I sure could.
Who would be your starting five?
Oh, give me Brunson. Give me Grimes. Give me Reddish. I don't want to see RJ Barrett start. Try something new. I'll ship Randall out first chance I get. And give me Jericho Sims. I'll ship Mitchell Robinson out too. Just give the young guy some run.
No top. No top.
Of course, Obi. Oh, I'm missing Obi Toppin. Of course, let me not disrespect Top. All right, I'm not going to disrespect Top. All right, he's got to start.
You know why RJ Barrett can't shoot, right? The cold. He just has a bad cold.
Yeah.
He's from Canada. He should be used to being cold, first off, and being sick. This should not be an issue for him.
His pancakes just weren't fluffy enough in the morning. Right?
No syrup? No maple syrup?
No maple syrup.
Just undercooked steak.
Undercooked.
I don't know.
There's too much pulp in the orange juice. RJ Barrett, he's just too much going off, RJ. But
boy.
It's just all the excuses in the book. What can you say? Poor kid.
Are you over him?
Poor kid.
Listen, he's one of our own. We drafted him, but...
Well,
why are you giving me 5 turnovers and no assists in the first half? Why? I don't care how you finish the game. Why are you starting off the game that way? You know what? Matter of fact, keep Tibbs. Tank Commander Tibbs. Here we go. Keep his ass around and see where we wind up. Wembenyama, here we come. Wembenyama, here we come. Wham bam your mama. All right. Let's get it.
So, Josh, I want to get your thoughts. The New York Knicks face the Atlanta Hawks.
Ooh.
On Wednesday. How do you feel about that?
You know what? You know what would be funny? Because the Hawks
lose.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. And especially considering the drama that's going on with Trae Young and the coach. Mm-hmm. So apparently Trae Young missed the previous game that the Hawks played due to, they called it like a BS injury. Meanwhile, he was really arguing with the coach about how to rehab his whatever injury, the shoulder injury or whatever. Then, Nate McMillan, Atlanta Hawks coach, sits his ass down, and then Trae Young doesn't play. And then, so it's not great with the Atlanta Hawks, but watch them come into Madison Square Garden on Wednesday. Course. And they're actually in more turmoil. I know they're like 4th in the East, but they're in more turmoil than the Knicks right now. If your star player is openly beefing with your coach, that's not good. But watch them win by 30 in the Garden on Wednesday.
30?
What? 30.
I'll say 40.
40. Anything's liable to happen with this Knicks team, man. You can't. The second you think it can't get any worse, or not any worse, any more embarrassing. That Mavs game, Tim. I would have.
We got Josh going. We got
Tim Hardaway Jr. is laughing at us. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Everybody laughs at us. He's just another guy.
Tim Hardaway Jr., Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullock, who couldn't hit the broadside of a damn barn the entire season, hit 6 threes in the Garden floor. He's laughing at us on the Mavericks bench. This is what the Knicks are, laughing stock. I can have my team be ass, right? You can't be a laughing stock. You can't have teams coming and just start. Look, this is too easy. I can't have that.
So you think firing Tom's going to stop all that?
It'd make it better.
I don't. I think people are still going to laugh at us.
Definitely make it better.
People will still laugh at us no matter who the coach is. You know that for a fact. I'm not saying Tom's been good. No, I would say fire him. But I'm just saying that's never stopping. Until Dolan sells the team, everybody's going to laugh at us. So that's a fact.
Wow.
It is.
And the Brooklyn Nets will still be their little brother.
All my teams stink, man. That's crazy.
Also want to get your thoughts on Cam Reddish not playing against the Cavaliers. Did not play coach's decision. How do you feel about that, Josh? Because I saw some things on Twitter, and I'm a basketball casual, but it seems like he shouldn't have done that.
Oh boy.
So you want to go to a 9-man rotation. This is the problem. You have a win-now coach who sucks at coaching win-now basketball with a rebuilding roster. It makes no sense. Nothing about this Knicks, not just roster, not just team, not just coach, not just fans, not just anything. The entire franchise, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. They're going in like 12 different directions.
They have everything at their disposal. They play in the Mecca, which, by the way, they don't deserve to be playing in. Number two, they have a Hall of Fame broadcaster, and they do nothing. They do nothing. With all that, nothing. Like, just being a team that's been irrelevant, a team that has no direction. It's why I've always said, just dump everybody. Everybody. Like, trade everybody. Don't even keep anybody. Get like 6 first round.
Relocate the team.
Yeah. 6 first round picks.
While I'm pissed off, you might as well ask me about Jacob deGrom, too.
You're really pissed off with him? I mean, I'm pissed at him.
We'll get there. I just want to touch on something real quick.
Yeah.
So as we know, the World Cup is happening, and the U.S. lost to the Netherlands on Saturday, 3-1.
They put that ish on us.
They did. You saw that? Oh my God, Memphis Depay, I believe is his name. He put that ish on us.
It was clean too.
It really was. He knew what he was doing with that. But I don't know if you guys watched the game, but U.S. they played really well, but you can definitely tell it's a experience thing that held them back. This is a team that's only been playing together for about 2 years, and they're going to get another chance in 2026 on home soil to win it, because they should be winning it in 2026.
Yeah.
It's the golden generation of U.S. soccer. I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, you watch that game, and obviously, like you said, you hit the nail on the head. The talent with the United States soccer team is undeniable right now. We haven't always been able to say that, but, they're just too young, too inexperienced, and these teams, like the Netherlands, like other teams we've seen advance, the typical powers of worldwide soccer, they know what they're doing. They're much more advanced. We're trying to close the gap, and like you said, we'll have a better chance in 4 years. But it wasn't meant to be this year.
It wasn't, but there was hope.
Yeah,
there was hope
for a little bit.
So let's get to what's happening in Queens. The Mets lose DeGrom, but they get Verlander. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I love it. First of all, I mean, look, I'm never gonna get mad at the Mets for losing on DeGrom. At the end of the day, DeGrom didn't want to be here. That's a fact. They were never gonna give him 5 years, and I agree with them. They should never have given him 5 years. And listen, they gave him an offer. I mean, at first, they gave him 3 years and $120 million. I mean, if I was DeGrom, I would have accepted that. But listen, Texas gave them 5 years. And we should have, let's be honest, we should have realized this before this season started. He didn't want to be here. That's a fact. I mean, but he wanted to opt out before he even threw a pitch, which made little to no sense. So I'm okay with the Mets moving on from him. And hey, you got Verlander. I don't think that's a reason to be upset. I love Verlander.
So the debate in the room right now is whether we should pick up this anonymous caller.
Yeah.
And the question I have is, why are you calling a sports show anonymous?
Well, I think I know who it is. Yeah. It could be one of two people. Okay. Could be Casper or it could be Corey David. And if it's Corey David, I'm definitely not picking up that phone. If it's Casper, that might be fun. But anyways, Jacob DeGrom signed a 5-year, $185 million contract with the Texas Rangers with a 6-year option to take the total deal to $222 million.
You know what? So let's just get to the face of it. So there's no state income tax in Texas, right? So that's a lot of money that Jacob DeGrom is going to cash in on in Texas, and good for him. He never shut the hell up about opting out. Every time he was asked or wasn't asked, he would just bring it up to the media unprovoked, like, hey guys, I had a good start tonight, but I'm opting out in the offseason, right? Like, nobody asked you, Jacob. like you couldn't wait
leaving
to get
no matter what happens.
Yeah,
I'm just out.
If the Mets won the World Series, he would have been gone. If they would have won one more round in the playoffs, he would have been gone. This guy would have been gone no matter what. We should have seen the writing on the wall, like you said, Ross. Yeah. And it's similar, not to rile Yankee fans up too, because misery loves company, but you read the tea leaves with Jacob deGrom in hindsight. Isn't it kind of similar to what Aaron Judge has been saying about coming back to the Yankees?
No, it definitely is.
It's going to be interesting to see what he does.
1,000% similar. Yeah.
We do have a caller. Hopefully, it's not an anonymous one this time. Caller, what's your name and what do you want to talk about? And they're gone. Look at that. Playing a little game show right now.
Yeah. He didn't. Okay, sorry I called you out for being anonymous, but me personally, I would just put my number on it.
Yeah. It's a great point. It's a great point.
Back, please.
So the Mets do lose out on Jacob deGrom, but they do get Mr. World Series champion Justin Verlander for 2 years at an $86 million price tag with a third year, I believe, option. Correct?
Yeah, I'm so happy. The Mets pivoted quick. I'm so happy they got Kate up. I'm sorry, Justin Verlander. They got Justin Verlander.
That's the big story.
I'm not wrong.
Kate Upton's coming to New York.
Yeah, baby. But listen, Justin Verlander. We were talking about it before the offseason, right? Would you rather give Jacob deGrom 5-6 years or Verlander 2-3 years with an insane annual value?
Right.
If you put my foot to the fire, even before all of this, I would have said Verlander because the Mets have all of Jacob deGrom's medical stuff, so they already know, or they have a good idea of how long this guy can last, pause, how long the arm's going to hold up, pause, or anything else. So they have a pretty good idea of that. So when you look at all that and take that into account, you understand why the Mets might have passed on giving him all that money for the years too. And Verlander, like you said, he just coming off a Cy Young season. He, again, everyone talks about his playoff struggles. Shout out that one Donald Trump tweet. He's not a very good. He's average in the postseason, we know. But listen, the Mets, they just got to get back to the dance and see what happens. Yep. Verlander, you pair him with Scherzer. Who knows? They might get this guy Senga.
I hope they get him.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great pivot from the New York Mets coming off the disappointment. And again, I know under those circumstances, the contract he got, I wouldn't have brought back Jacob deGrom. But with that being said, the level of cope from Mets fans, it's going to hurt a little bit. He was
definitely
the second greatest Mets pitcher of all time.
I'm gonna say this, though. Before he threw a pitch, the Mets were winning.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
What's that stat? They won, obviously, 101 games, and 5 of them came from deGrom?
Yes.
It's going to be a crazy comparison right here. See the Zach Wilson of that Mets team this year?
That's a wild...
The team just quit on. Well, I wouldn't say quit, but they did.
I would say in terms of solely attitude.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, just watching his body language, and obviously Mets fans, Mets fans try to defend him, but you could tell, that's not the body language of a guy that's into the team.
You just heard some rumors today, about deGrom. He's not, I don't know how likable is the right word, but he's not the most... He's not much of a leader, I guess. I guess that's the way to put it. Not much at all. So, that's that why they don't score runs for him. I don't know, but I'm sure that doesn't help the cause. They scored runs for other pitchers this year. They scored runs for Carrasco. They scored runs for these other pitchers. So, I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. Before deGrom threw a pitch, they were the best offense in baseball. So
you're not wrong.
Imagine how petty it would be if there was actually something to that. Think about it. Taijuan Walker, great clubhouse guy. They always scored runs for him. Carrasco, like you said. Jacob deGrom,
they're definitely going to pull up first day of. Wow, I can't think right now.
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Try again. Give it another shot.
First practice of the season, they're just going to walk in with Verlander T-shirts. That's exactly what I'm picturing.
Yeah. Shout out to the Jets with the Mike White shirts. Yeah, I hope that happens. We love your replacement so much more. He's a better guy, and at least for next year.
Listen, Verlander's
yeah.
So,
and on that level, Verlander's on that level of Jacob deGrom, so he might be a better pitcher than Jacob deGrom next year.
And he's 39 too, and he's coming off his best season of his career.
Yep.
Which is wild.
He's
coming off Tommy John too. That was a big thing. And also, not gonna lie, I hope Texas sucks.
Oh, me too.
I hope they're.
That's
bad.
gonna be a 50-win team this season. And it's going to be hilarious, and we're going to get to laugh about it every day during the summer.
And they spend so much money, too. Think about the last 2 off seasons they've had.
I know.
Yeah.
That's right. They got
Marcus Simeon,
and
Seager. Yeah. So they're spending, but I don't think... Listen, that's the Astros division. They're not going anywhere.
Oh, 1,000%.
They're not going anywhere, so you can spend all the money you want to if you're Texas, but you're still going to be second fiddle no matter what.
Definitely.
And not to mention, DeGrom's got to face the Houston Astros a few times now, being that they're in the division. And also, listen, I hate to say this, but the guy's not going to be very healthy for those 5 years. That's a fact.
Not.
I mean, my prediction is, usually you get 60-something starts 2 years if you're fully healthy.
Right.
That's an average of 32. He will have 60-something starts in 5 seasons. DeGrom in Texas, guaranteed. He will be hurt not most of the time, but I'm gonna say half.
Right.
I just have a weird feeling that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, no. Hopefully the Mets can keep adding some big pieces, but unfortunately they do lose out on Trey Turner, that hurt me because I really wanted him
to the Phillies too
for 11 years. That's 11 years, $300 million.
That's insane.
Full no trade clause.
Yeah, the Phillies are wild for that. But listen, I get where they're coming from because, yeah, they made it to the World Series, but remember in the regular season, and again, we don't know how much regular season baseball even matters anymore considering what we just saw, but they were in third place. They finished behind the Braves and Mets, but well behind them both. So obviously they want to make up some ground, make it easier on themselves, and Trey Turner's a big get for them. Listen, not only the bat, but he immediately helps their defense too. And again, this is a typical baseball contract. An insane amount of years just to get the big time short term value and then see what happens.
The Phillies remind me so much of the Red Sox of 2021, where they made a shocking run. A lot of balls bounced their way. Teams kind of were surprised by them. Their issues didn't happen. They didn't get exposed because it was a shorter series. And I feel like in the regular season they're gonna, I don't know about crash down to earth. Maybe that's a little strong, but I don't think they're gonna be as good as people think. I still think there's issues on that team. I think they just got hot at the right time.
Right. I mean, they won't make it back to the World Series because obviously the Marlins are going to win it next year. Statistically speaking, of course.
I'll swear by that.
But let's move the talk to the college football playoff that is officially set. And I know we don't talk a lot about college football on this show, but I think we have to because it's the playoffs soon. So it'll be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State University. So let's take a first look at those teams. It will be Georgia versus Ohio State in the first game.
Ooh.
And then Michigan versus TCU.
Georgia, Ohio State should be a game. And it's funny, I was watching this weekend after the action, and you see how much Alabama was begging to get in after, obviously 2 weeks ago, Ohio State gets clapped up by Michigan, and TCU loses, so it's like there's an opportunity there, and USC too. So there's an opportunity for Alabama. Nick Saban's pretty much like, come on, guys, we're Alabama. Like, you know you want to give us a playoff spot. But yeah, they weren't having it. It's the right decision to put Ohio State in there, and that should be a game. CJ Stroud, I know Ohio State fans hate him because you can't go winless against Michigan and go pro. That never happens in Ohio State history. Usually doesn't end well in terms of how you're going to be liked at that college, but he has a big opportunity. He can make up for all of that if you beat the superpower Georgia. That should be a great game. Yeah,
against 25-year-old Stetson Bennett, who is carving up 18 and 19-year-olds on defense.
Yeah.
I hate him. I truly dislike that man. You're 25. Respectfully, Josh, I know you're 25, but go pro. Just give up. I don't know what you're doing.
He's doing mic drop celebrations after
Bro, that's 7 years in college.
Yeah. Who was that? Yeah, I can't respect that. There was a Kansas basketball player too who had he looked like the most 35-year-oldest person ever. He was there for Kansas for 10 years. I'm forgetting his name. Oh, Perry Ellis. It's the same thing with Stetson Bennett. So
it's ridiculous.
Congratulations, Stetson, but try to
dude, you're 25.
Yeah, get her hustle up and get that degree.
Commit to the NFL, which he won't make the NFL.
No, he won't.
He's not that good.
Hustle up and get that accounting degree, my boy.
Yeah, for real. And then we also have Michigan versus TCU with I I think that's just an automatic win for Michigan.
Yeah, I like TCU. I really do. They're a great store. They have some pro players that they're going to get drafted in the first round, but this might be Michigan's time. I'm not going to go ahead and pick them right now, but Jim Harbaugh, I think in a perfect world, he wins this national championship and then comes back to the NFL. Like, he fulfilled his purpose in Michigan, and we'll see. I don't know if that happens, but I think Michigan has that feel. Listen,
right.
Usually Michigan, even when they're really good, they'll get beat down by Ohio State. They flip the script on them, so that bodes well for their playoff chances. They should beat TCU, and then they might get Ohio State again. That would be something. That would really be something.
Ohio State in the college football playoff always seems to just disappoint you,
right?
Because they've always just been that powerhouse, and they could just never get over the hump. And I hope they can do it this year. So they'll be my pick to win it.
Ooh, okay.
Josh, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Michigan. I'm gonna go out on the limb. I think it's their year.
Right. Ross, you got a pick for us?
No. Probably
all ties.
Probably a tie.
All ties.
I'm going to say yes.
I like that.
Can't go wrong with Georgia. Georgia's definitely.
Yeah, I just don't want to see Stetson Bennett win a championship again.
Right. You're
I've had enough of him. He's 25. Start family. I don't know. Do something.
Start a family.
Jesus. All right. Before we get to the NFL talk, I want to remind everyone that if you want to join in on the conversation, you can call 516-572-7440. Talk to us about some sports, maybe life.
Oh, I would love some life advice right now.
Oh, yeah.
I could really use it. So,
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got anything for me, call up. Or, specifically.
Always cook your beans in a pot. That's my life advice, too.
You know what? I'll take that in stride, Nico.
Good. Let's get to the local football teams. The New York Jets lose to the Minnesota Vikings 27-22. Mike White throws the ball 57 times yesterday and throws for another 300-yard game, but does throw 2 interceptions. Should have had a touchdown, but Braxton Berrios was like, nah.
Braxton.
The Jets offense, unfortunately, went 3 for 16 on third downs yesterday and 2 for 5 on fourth. It's just not what you want. But Garrett Wilson had a big day, 8 receptions, 162 yards. So I guess this brings up the question. Is Mike White your quarterback for the rest of the season? Officially. Does Zach Wilson ever play a game again in New York?
I don't see that. I think Mike White is definitely going to close out the season, because even in this game, it looks like the Jets are going to get blown out. They're down 20-6. Like you said, they're terrible on third down. I think they only had 3 third downs for the whole game, which is insane. And I think 2 of those came on one drive. So it's not what you want for the Jets offense, but the most damning stat is that they went 1 for 6 in the red zone. If you want to win a football game, and yes, they had 500 yards of offense, and they were really, Mike White in the second half really made up for that dud of a first half. Like, he brought his team back in a way that I don't see Zach Wilson doing in that situation. But listen, they get down inside the red zone twice in the last 5 minutes of the game. They don't get in, and then I think on one of the drives they had first and goal at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and they didn't get in.
You have to score. You have to score. You have to score. There's no way around it. And again, they had a couple of run plays, and I know Mike LaFleur is going to get blamed for certain play calls, but you said it, Nico. Braxton Berrios, you got to catch that ball, bro.
Got to, man.
I know it was a little behind him, and Mike White actually took the anti-Zach Wilson route and took accountability for that. Like, I should have given him a better ball, hit him in stride, but listen, the old adage is, if it hits you in the hands, and hit him in the hands and chest,
yup,
you got to catch it.
And he was just readjusting to bring it closer to him. No, bro, just hold on to it and fall.
Keep it simple, stupid.
And that was a game-winning touchdown.
This was the first game, too, that I really feel like the Jets missed Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Because it's not, all things considered, if everything's perfect health, it's not Braxton Berrios getting all those touches in this game.
Right.
It's Breece Hall. And he's probably doing a lot more with those opportunities. So it's a tough game. I like the way the Jets fought back, and that's why I would say Mike White is their quarterback. But the Vikings, they're still
fugazi to me.
I can't believe I picked this team to go to the Super Bowl. And because of how weird the NFC is, it still might happen. But you're up. The Vikings could be up because they were up 20-6 in this game. The Vikings could be up 50 points and still find a way to win by one possession. That's just who they are.
He scored 7 points in the second half.
Disgusting.
The Jets defense just turned themselves on their head.
And the Jets defense is great, don't get me wrong, but Kirk Cousins, he is who he is. He is who he is. I don't. There's nothing inspiring about him. You know he's gonna put up some numbers when the game gets tight. Is he really your guy?
No.
Nah.
Or would you rather have guys like Jalen Hurts and even Dak Prescott, who was doing really weird stuff yesterday too? But I trust him over Kirk Cousins. At this point.
Right. Oh, the New York Jets, they lose to the Fugazi Vikings, but they'll have a chance to come back next week and beat the Bills. I think they can do it.
They beat them already.
I think they can definitely beat them with Mike White.
Yeah, that's going to be because if...
That's the storyline, really, if Mike White can beat the Bills.
And it's big for Mike White because remember in his last start last year...
Yeah, against the Bills, not good.
Threw 4 picks.
Yep.
In Orchard Park, so this is his opportunity to get some get back.
The one thing I'll say about that game, and by the way, that game, I think that might have been at home. He threw 4 picks.
It was, my bad.
Yeah, it was. They were at home. This is a better team around him. I will say that, and I do think that was bad circumstances because you got to remember they wanted Zach to be the guy. They wanted, so I think they almost put White back out there when Wilson was probably ready to play, just so White can fail to see Zach play, and that way there's no locker room problem. I think that's why White played. Now, I'm not going to excuse him for not playing well. He should have at least played better than 4 interceptions. That was terrible. You wouldn't you admit 4 interceptions is a pretty bad game?
No, that's a pretty horrendous game.
Yeah, that's awful. So I don't think he's doing that again. I think he'll be fine. I just don't want him to throw the ball 57 times.
Yeah, no, they really have to find the run game again with this team. Is James Robinson injured?
No, he's just a Cook product. He was a good dude.
He was pissed. He's pissed.
I was like, I did not see him like at all yesterday.
Well, he's pissed at the coaching staff because he wanted more like reps.
You're really running Zonovan Knight instead of James Robinson right now?
He's good though.
He's good, but you trade for James Robinson and you're not going to use him?
And it's weird, especially because Michael Carter was out too.
Yeah, you're running Ty Johnson instead of James Robinson. That's the craziest part to me.
I'm going to be honest with you. I blame LaFleur a lot more than White in that game yesterday. I think LaFleur was horrible. 57 throws, really? I know they were down, but still, 57 throws? Come on. Like, that's you got to run the ball a little bit more than that.
The LaFleur brothers, man, this season, they're...
There it is right there. And the LaFleur brothers and anyone in general in the Shanahan tree, because even Mike McDaniel was doing some weird stuff yesterday that cost them the game. Like, they try to get too cute.
They do. They get too cocky.
Yeah, just, I'm smarter than everyone else, so this fancy-ass play I draw up's going to work. And defenses are like, no, you probably would have had better luck just running it up the middle. That's the Shanahan coaching tree. I'm a big fan of all of them. Right. They have their moments, especially when they're like scheming up stuff, but just keep it simple. If they just keep it simple, they probably win that game.
Definitely. Let's move to the other team at MetLife Stadium, the New York Giants. They tie against the Washington Commanders 20-20.
Yep.
That's rough.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When that game went to overtime, you told me I would take a tie. Yeah, I would sign up for a tie.
Yeah.
The way
you want to go for it on 4th and 3.
No, that's in bad.
What?
No, you cannot go for it on 4th.
Ross, what are you talking about?
When your coach is Brian Dable, and the way he's been coaching this year,
I would have ripped him for that.
Really?
Oh, of course. If they go for it and they don't make it, with this offense, I don't trust them making that.
Ross, I'm surprised at you. You got to go for the win in that situation.
No.
You have to.
You have to.
No, we would have lost.
Look, the issue
doesn't matter if you win or lose. Brian Dable, wear his nuts. He had it all season.
All season?
All season, but in this moment, he doesn't want to do anything?
You're going to go for with your best wide receiver named Darius Slayton, who dropped a pass. You're going to go with practice squad wide receiver, a Barkley who can't find any holes, and you're going to go for it on 4th and 3 with a chance to probably miss it and lose the game.
Ross, you got to go for the win.
You have to. With
you're
the
in Washington territory.
Yeah.
It's not like you're in your own territory. Listen, the issue was the 3rd down play that they messed up.
Sure, but that's on the players. That's on the coach. Part of it is, but that's on the players.
Ross, you're on the Washington, 45-yard line. You're
going to trust this team to get 3 yards? This team, this offense.
You got to go for the win.
You have to.
Oh my God.
You have to go for the win to prove to you, to your team, that you have faith in them to make the playoffs. To do
it, guys.
Ross, hold on, because
they know the coach has faith in them.
If Brian,
no, I don't think they have faith in them, because if they did, Brian Dable would have went for it on 4th and 3.
Brian Dable, the issue is like this is inconsistent with what he's done all season long.
Yeah.
If he was like Joe Judge and Mr. Conservative all year, like he went for it. He went for 2.
Oh my God,
week 1.
We're gonna
for the
criticize
win.
Brian Dable.
He wasn't
with this
he wasn't
decision,
as good yesterday as he's been all season long.
I agree.
think you can admit that.
The whole game, he was not great. I agree. He was too conservative in the second half of the game when they were up 20-13. I agree with that. But what I'm always going to look back on is that this team doesn't have a lot of talent. They have to scheme perfectly every single play to work. And let's be honest, even when they have tried to do that, they only had how many yards in the second half? 23? Like, the fact that we had 23 yards in the second half and we tied, like if you told me we'd had 23 yards in a 13-13 tie at halftime, I would have told you we probably would have lost. So the fact that we tied when that was the case, I would have signed up for it. If we lost that game, that is a heartbreaking loss. That's backbreaking. You lose that game, you're done. You probably are done anyway. But if you lose that game, you are like, forget about anything else the rest of the year. You go for that and you miss it, Dable's going to get absolutely shredded. You know that for a fact.
I don't think so.
For going for 4th and 3.
I don't think he gets shredded for that.
Because
it's been consistent with what he's done all season. 4th
and inches, I agree. He should, if it was 4th and inches or even 4th and 1, go for it. 4th and 3 with Saquon Barkley not running as well, I think that plays a factor. If Barkley was running like he was a month ago, I would have went for it. He's not running the ball as well. He's clearly something's up with Barkley, and the interior offensive line is brutal on this team. So you're even if Barkley was great, how can you trust this offense with this talent? Not to mention, this is maybe the biggest thing out of all this. This is not his quarterback. This is not his players.
You clearly see, and what we're 14 games in, 13 games in, like still he doesn't trust Daniel Jones.
He doesn't trust him. No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't trust Daniel Jones. That's now. I will say, Jones did throw the ball 31 times, which is a lot for him. He threw it 31 times. He ran 12.
Crazy.
He's not like Mike White. Can't throw it 57 times.
No, that's not the way they operate, which I agree with. It's the right thing to do. Now, but you're right. I agree with that. He does not trust Daniel Jones. That's a fact. And I think that's a message to me that he's not coming back next year. When I see stuff like that, he's gone.
So I agree with that, and we'll agree to disagree on the punt, even though there's a great thing by SB Nation or Secret Base, whatever it's called now, the surrender index. So they rate how cowardly a punt is on a scale of 0 to 100.
Do they really?
They do.
That's awesome.
The highest one I've seen is at the former head coach of the Falcons, Dan Quinn, now with the Cowboys. He punted from like his opponent's 34-yard line.
Oh man,
in overtime.
Worse.
That's the highest one. So this is actually, they rated this punt, Giants punting from the Washington 45 on 4th and 3 with 1:42 remaining in overtime, tied 20-20.
Didn't we take delay a game penalty? I thought we did.
No,
delay a game.
No, it was 4th and 3.
I thought.
You're right. You're right. So you're right. They decided, but regardless, it was a 4th and 3 situation. If they decide to go for it, they're going for it in that situation.
Yeah.
So they're going based off that.
Okay.
It broke the scale. 135 surrender index. It was in the 99th percentile of the most cowardly punts we've ever seen.
God.
From Brian Dable. That's what's weird about it.
That's the craziest part.
All year.
Now let's fire Brian Dable.
No. It's just. It's weird. It's weird.
Does anybody realize that we have like the worst roster in the NFL when it comes to offense?
Yeah, but you see, they don't think that. Well, they haven't been thinking that this whole season, which makes it like, okay, this team, they don't believe in this team anymore.
Well, they don't. They never made a trade at the deadline. They never got a wide receiver. So they tried. They just didn't get one. But Joe Shane did not put his whole future into this season. Shouldn't that have told everybody everything that you need to know? I mean, let's be honest. They didn't go out and get anybody. He didn't believe in this team. The GM that's around this team every day didn't believe. So if he didn't believe, Why should I? It's not his guys. This is not Dable or Shane's guys. So if I'm going to go by that narrative, and these guys come from smart organizations in Buffalo, they know a great team. Clearly, they know that this team is not a great team. There's a lot of limitations to this team. When you see 23 yards of offense in the second half, including overtime, doesn't that tell you all you need to know? I mean, they no wonder why he doesn't trust his team to get 3 yards. There's nothing here. And by the way, Dan Campbell, the guy that says stuff the box. That's what you know what? Every head coach is going to do that. So there's a million Dan Campbells now. So you know what? This is why. Thanks a lot, Gellerman. Why you don't build around a freaking running back? It's so stupid.
And we're gonna go back to the decision to draft Saquon. He's been your best player this year.
No, but this is how you have a poor on why we're in this situation. It's not Barkley's fault, but this is when it's so much easier to stop a running back than it is a quarterback or a wide receiver or anything like that. You look at the Dallas Cowboys or any other elite offense, they're scoring points at will. For us, it's pulling teeth to get points or even get a first down. So that's why, people always say, Kellen Moore, those great offense, those offense. I don't think Kellen Moore's great, but those guys that are part of great offenses, they look great because they have great offenses. They have better players than we do. We have nobody. Do we have a CeeDee Lamb on this team? No CeeDee Lamb on this team. We don't have. I mean, heck, we don't even have a Tony Pollard on this team as a backup. I mean, Matt Breida's okay, but he's not Tony Pollard.
He's bootleg Tony Pollard at this point.
Yeah, and their offensive line is way better than we are. We don't have a great team. I mean, great. We have Evan Neal back. Great. We got Daniel Bellinger back. But outside of that, where's the help? I mean, there's no help. And by the way, Jones actually played a pretty decent game for what he had.
Yeah, no, he was 25 for 31, 200 yards and a touchdown. But he wasn't better than Taylor Heineke.
So a couple pivotal plays in this game. Obviously, you have the Commanders. You're up 7 on their final drive in regulation. You have them at 4th and 4. Now,
give him credit.
When Heineke's scrambling to the left, he's in trouble. 4 Giants are chasing him. You think it's just a wrap. The Commanders are going to lose. Right. It's going to be the biggest win of the season for the Giants. Nico's going to hear from Corey Davis.
Oh, my God.
But Taylor Heineke made an insane play. Just floated it perfectly in the air for Curtis Samuel. Catch. First down. They go tie the game on the I can't say his name. Jahan Dotson touchdown. So, I don't know. Is Carson Wentz making that play? This is what I say about Taylor Heineke. No. Carson Wentz making that play?
Definitely
in
not.
Big time? No, he's probably doing a pick 6. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so Heineke's just a winner. And then, not just that, on their final drive in overtime, Kayvon Thibodeau's coming unblocked, blindside. How the hell does he hold on to that football? How?
He's a real man.
Yep.
He wears number 4. You know why he wears number 4?
Why is that?
He grew up as a Brett Favre fan.
Oh, so we got that.
As a real man. I guarantee you, 15 years, Taylor Heineke stealing millions of dollars from Mississippi people.
I don't think so.
You know what ticked me off the most? This is what ticked me off the most in that whole entire game. These referees now are so soft. This league is so soft when it comes to the whole unsportsmanlike conduct crap. So whoever it was is literally flexing. He's flexing. And by the way, he's talking to Slayton. Did he say anything that bad to avoid a penalty?
John Feliciano, bro.
Come on, is that really that bad? Did he say anything? I mean, I'm not on the field, but you cannot make a call like that in that type of a game. I am so pissed off with the field. Yeah, I get it. We gave up a touchdown, but the reason why we gave a touchdown that tied the game and we're still up by 3 is because of that dumb call. So you know what? I blame the officials extremely for that. And guess what? That is 65% of the reason why we ended in a tie. That dumb call. I don't care that we gave up a touchdown.
Right.
Our defense was dead tired. We were out on the field for 41 minutes of the game. Yeah, it was going to happen at some point. And give Heineke all the credit in the world. He made the play. It was a very good play. But you know what? The fact is we should have been up by 10 points at that point, and we probably would have won the game. So you know what? I blame the referees entirely for that play. Yes, I am not someone that always blames the refs, but that one I have to. This league is so soft, and it's fully on the refs and Roger Goodell.
You know what's funny about this game, too? A tie, obviously, is like what? When you invite a girl over and all you'll do is kiss and go home. Like that's a tie in football. So I guess, but it actually might help both teams make the playoffs. Think about it. Because
I hate that so much. Hey, the Packers aren't out yet.
You should hate that.
I hate that so much, Josh.
Aaron Rodgers, he still owns.
He's best friends with Kanye, apparently. I don't know if you saw that yesterday.
Oh, he definitely is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That the proof is in the pudding, Nico. I mean,
listen, nobody just gets that haircut. That doesn't happen.
You don't just get that on purpose and not mean it, right?
Right.
So the funny thing about Aaron Rodgers, though, like he sees the Cowboys, he sees the star, right? He beats the Cowboys. He remembers who he owns.
Yeah.
He sees the Bears in Soldier Field. He's gonna win that game. You just know.
You think he's a Bear next year?
That would be.
It's a second home, Josh.
He can't. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, yo. Never change, Aaron. Never change. Actually, kind of change.
No, please change so we can see Jordan Love. But that's a good tie in there. Let's get to the other games around the league. The Detroit Lions, they dragged their nuts across the Jaguars' faces yesterday.
That's not quite what you wrote.
That's not quite what I put. I don't know if you want to say that.
No.
Anyways, the Lions beat the Jaguars 40-14. And truly, I think the Lions could destroy Minnesota right now.
Listen, the Giants, the tie helps them, but you lost head-to-head against not just the Seahawks who won yesterday, but the Lions too, who are charging up the standings.
You hate my team.
I'm just saying, like you got to watch out for the Lions.
What I did to your team? What did I do?
I'm just saying the truth. You got to watch out for Detroit.
Our team because we may not make the playoffs this year. Well, we're not, but you're mad at us.
I'm not mad at y'all. Listen, my team. Listen, Ross. If you're gonna pull the misery loves company angle with my New Orleans Saints,
it's so much different with your team.
If you're gonna pull that, I'm not gonna say you're lying. You might have a little something there, but I speak the truth when it comes to the Giants. If the Giants had more talent and they weren't as injured in the secondary, I would love them right now.
Yeah,
they're a cute little. They're the engine that could, right? But it's just not. The Lions, Seahawks, they might just catch you.
It's not a collapse.
No.
You're not the New York Mets.
Okay.
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I want to hear.
The Mets were fully healthy and folded. The Giants have a lot of excuses to fall back on.
Yeah.
For why they won't make the playoffs.
ABT, McKinney.
Next on the topic sheet we have the Ravens-Broncos game, but I don't even think we have to talk about that. It was an absolute thriller though, 10-9. Lamar Jackson knee injury. I don't think he'll be out for the rest of the season. Let's move on to the more important game from yesterday. Deshaun Watson comes back and does absolutely nothing on offense, but the Browns beat the Texans 27-14. And I'm gonna read off Deshaun Watson's stats: 12 for 29, 131 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and 0 women assaulted. That's a new career high.
That's got to be. We verified that stat before we came in. You know what, Deshaun? I don't want to give him an excuses, but when there's massage oil on the ball, Nico.
Definitely.
It's a little tough to get the grip and make accurate.
Yeah, and then you're just asking the ball to comply and just be better and do what he's telling you. But the ball doesn't want to listen. No, the ball has rights.
It does have rights.
Yeah.
Respect the ball, please.
Respect the ball.
Deshaun Watson.
Ass.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett's so much better.
Yo.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have never made that trade, but for more, sane reasons.
Oh, Deshaun.
There's a lot of injury quarterbacks in the NFL.
That's right, Jimmy G.
Garoppolo.
R.I.P. Baker Mayfield's going to be a 49er.
Christian McCaffrey's like, bro. Please no.
Just can't escape you, man.
Derek Carr.
You're just inevitable.
Derek Carr?
For Niners, yeah.
Next year.
Oh, next year?
Yeah, perfect fit. Perfect fit for him.
Next year, quarterback competition is going to be interesting in San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
You got Trey Lance, who could be a Saint next year.
I would love that.
Why not?
That'd be good.
Why not?
I would love that.
Jimmy G, who could also be a Saint next year. And if they get Baker Mayfield, he could also be a Saint next year. A lot of things can happen for the Saints.
You had to drag it with that last name you said. I don't want that man anywhere near the Superdome, bro.
Do you want Daniel Jones?
He's not bad.
I know Baker Mayfield's not bad. Who said that?
He's a product of bad coaching.
If anyone's on Facebook Live, you see the face I'm giving.
Listen, we saw the playoff year he had.
No, 2020. Ooh, 2020 Baker. Ooh, he's gonna come back. This is gonna out of nowhere.
He would be better than Jameis or Andy Dalton right now.
Well,
Dalton stinks.
If Jameis wasn't feeling pain everywhere, and yes, you're Ross, right? I mean, you're right, Ross. Andy Dalton does stink. And we got to watch him on prime time against Tom Brady.
That's right, against the Cuccaneers. So right. Monday Night Football preview. Let's do it.
The what?
The Tampa Bay Cuccaneers. Did I say something wrong?
You didn't. Tampon Bay, Tom Booty. Shout out Eric. I know he loves that tweet from Antonio Brown.
Cuccaneers versus the Saints, or jiu-jitsu teachers.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu teachers. Listen, if you're a woman, I guess that's hard to pass that up.
How many fans do you think show up to this game dressed as a jiu-jitsu teacher?
Saints fans better not miss that opportunity. Ooh, I would. Yeah, you got to pull up in the full jiu-jitsu set, right? You got to really make Tom Brady feel it. You got to make him feel that.
The TD celebrations tonight are going to be amazing.
Oh, I need Camaro to pull out the Hua! Like, yes, I need it. Oh, y'all put a battery in my back tonight. Listen, with the Saints, it's been a lost season, right? They're 4-8. Somehow they're still in the mix of the NFC South for how ass the Buccaneers have been, and the Falcons who lost.
Right.
But listen, it's Tom Brady on the side. You know how I feel about Tom Brady.
Well, you beat him.
We beat them all the time.
Okay.
And so the last 2 games that the Saints played in Raymond James Stadium, we had the 38-3 when Drew Brees was still there, and then you had the 9-0. We shut out Tom Brady last year.
Okay. So
now we didn't make the playoffs, but man, I was talking so much trash after that game. Like, Tom, you can't do nothing against us. Now you had that little win. Jameis Winston had 12 fractures in his back. Congratulations, you beat us by 10. It's going to be different. We have Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans' daddy back,
and Andy Dalton.
But listen, we're getting healthy.
He's married, right?
Who?
Andy Dalton?
I think so.
See, that's a real man.
Yeah.
Me personally?
I'm not going
to, ditch my family to play a game.
Listen, but he probably didn't want to pick up jiu-jitsu lessons.
You're probably right.
I get that.
You're probably right.
I understand you, Tom. Don't listen to
You know what I also heard? Zach Wilson, he's been getting into karate.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so I that's a good strategy. Anytime you see a girl out there, you want to get at her, you gotta learn her. What's her type, and just
karate.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no, man. I watch Cobra Kai on Netflix.
Yeah.
We could cuddle up. We could watch Cobra Kai.
Oh well. You know what? We'll talk about it off air.
Oh, us? There was some miscommunication there.
Yeah,
I'm sure Tom Brady experienced that too.
I'm so
And
embarrassed.
Deshaun Watson.
I'm so embarrassed.
Well,
that's definitely Deshaun Watson. Yo, you know what? Because we talked about the accusers showing up to the game.
Yeah.
It's not what you want if you're Deshaun, but listen, it's what you got to deal with now. You're coming back to Houston. What were you expecting? Right.
Right.
So, wipe the massage oil off the ball. Wipe your hands clean. Get back after it next week. What can you say?
Oh. So, Josh, your Saints against the Cuccaneers.
Yes.
Who wins tonight? What's the score?
So every time I pick the Saints to win a game this year, they've lost. Every time I pick the Saints to lose a game this year, they've won. So I'm going to pick the Saints because it's a win-win situation for me. Listen, if we win this game, Tom Brady is a bozo. He's going to miss the playoffs. He ruins his family to come play football, and he's not going to make the playoffs. That would be great. That would soothe my soul. Misery loves company, right? That would bring me so much joy to see Tom Brady bitching on the sideline, throwing surface tablets at his offensive linemen while he just sit there and take it, right? Because he's Tom Brady. Oh, the media. Oh, Tom Brady, the chosen one, right? I want to see that. It's a win-win if the Saints win this game. But it's also a win if they lose because they finally put me out of my misery this year. I don't have to think about the Saints possibly making the playoff run. 4-9, it's over.
And you guarantee Will Anderson to Philly, so
yeah, but you know what? That's going to be painful. But you got the Chargers, who are losing games that are going to trade us a nice little amount for Sean Payton.
I find it really interesting that in football you got to trade for the coach.
Right? I love it. That's going to save.
I always think about that. That's wild.
I gotta shout out Sean Payton for just retiring and not demanding a trade outright, because we get to have a nice little haul from the Chargers, who are going to cut bait with Brandon Staley, or the Cardinals, who have a worse record. Kyler Murray hates
Or even Vegas.
Even Vegas.
A lot of teams in play now.
Listen, and they're all going to have pretty good picks. So if any Raiders, Cardinals, Chargers, if you want to come down to New Orleans and save our franchise, because without y'all, we're cooked. But because we need the quarterback in the draft, right? we gonna get a nice little haul for Sean Payton. But until then, I hope the Saints win this game. I hope we have Tom Brady crying on the sideline. I hope Mike Evans, I get to make more memes. You know those memes of Marshawn Lattimore holding Mike Evans like as a baby?
Yeah.
I make all of those. You didn't know that? I make all of those.
Josh?
I do.
You're the main supplier?
I'm the main supplier. Yeah. I finally put a name to it. So I hope I can make more of those. More creative Marshawn Lattimore's Mike Evans daddy memes. Because remember the last time we saw them face off, they got into a pretty good fight on the field, and somehow Marshawn Lattimore, who got blindsided, because Mike Evans a bitch. You know he can only get at Marshawn Lattimore by pushing him in the back and then twirling him down. That's the only way Mike Evans can really get at Marshawn Lattimore. I don't know what that's about, Mike. You know, you're 6'5", 220. You know, Marshawn Lattimore's a lot smaller than you, so he whoops your ass on the field, and then you got to resort to lame tactics on the sideline in the middle of a play to get him ejected. Hopefully, Marshawn Lattimore keeps his cool and the Saints can come out with a dub. I would really like to see the Saints win this game. Making the playoffs, I don't really care about. I just want to see Tom Brady suffer. So, there you have it.
You got a score prediction?
9-7.
I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
There's not going to be much offense.
I'm going to go 11-7.
You know what? The Saints are so damn weird.
It's going to be 3 field goals and a safety.
I could definitely see that. Listen, the Saints offense has nothing going on. Michael Thomas, instead of rehabbing his turf toe injury and getting back on the field, he's tweeting at, randoms saying, "Oh, slant boy. I'm slant boy? Me? That's what he's saying. Like he's quit on the team. Kamara's not himself right now. Olave, I'm going to be interested to watch against the Buccaneers suspect secondary.
Who?
Chris Olave.
You mean number 2?
Number 2 to who?
Christian Watson.
Oh, you funny.
8 touchdowns in 4 weeks. 8 touchdowns in 4 weeks.
You funny. You real funny.
He's climbing that ladder.
He's climbing the ladder, but you ain't going to catch Olave.
You don't think so?
Only reason he might get close is because Andy Dalton's the quarterback. And Christian Watson, despite Aaron Rodgers sabotaging his team with a broken thumb, he's still Aaron Rodgers.
How are you throwing a ball with a broken thumb?
Painkillers and ayahuasca, bro.
Just let Jordan play. Let Jordan play.
I agree with you, but listen, they're going to keep winning games down the stretch. Watch. They're going to keep winning meaningless games that won't matter at the end.
Yep.
And you're not going to see any Jordan Love because the Packers are going to be in it they're going to be in it week 18.
I hope Aaron Rodgers is going to play out by 50 next week.
And they're going to you might hope that, but they're going to win. This is how the Packers season going to go. You're going to see nothing from Jordan Love in year 3 of him just sitting on the bench, and then Aaron Rodgers is going to come back for one more year, and then you're going to be in the exact same place, and then Jordan Love's going to be a Saint, hopefully. There you have it.
I hate you.
Well, your true feelings finally come out. I had to come out talking my stuff today. You know what? It's Tom
All
Brady
right.
week.
Okay, Joshua. Got any final thoughts?
Me?
That isn't from Joshua.
Wow, that's crazy. Go ahead, Ross.
The Trotz being the Rangers coach. Hopefully it happens.
I'll disagree on the basis that would mean probably the end of Lafreniere and Kako ever developing into stars on this team.
They need to Good.
Oh, God.
They're not good. I don't know why they keep keeping them.
No, Ross, don't do this to me.
What are you talking? You really want to keep this team together?
I do, because they can win. They just,
oh, my God. No, they cannot.
They're just being dummies right now. They're being silly goofballs.
They cannot win with this.
They're being goofballs.
They're all... They
I don't know. Who do you think the locker room cancer is? Because it's obvious there is one. Who do you think it is, though?
Players, I don't know, Trouba? I don't know.
Trouba?
Well, Trouba actually was...
He was, hinting at the fact that there was.
Yeah, he was hinting, yeah.
The locker room issue isn't a player. I think it's Gallant.
Yeah, you could be right.
I think so.
Yeah, but Trouba was hinting that. That's not a good look.
Right. Well, that will do it from us because, Josh doesn't have any final thoughts.
Nah, I got one. So, shout out the 2 people. Russell Wilson scores 16 points challenge. Failure again. Never been done in history. We never seen it. But Lamar Jackson got hurt and Tyler Huntley led the Ravens to victory.
I'm going to have to hear this on Wednesday.
You hear that? You hear that, Nico? It's
Corey Davis.
It's Corey Davis' agenda growing. So good luck with that.
Well, you're hosting that show, so that's on you, buddy.
You gonna get he coming at you, bro.
That will be it from us on WHPC Sports Talk, and definitely that will be it from Joshua. We'll be back tomorrow at 4. Until then, from Joshua Mahi, Nico Each, and Ross Levine, have a good day.